Hello everybody, welcome to my preview of Seviren Disc Golf Course. This is a fantastic championship level disc golf course in the southern Indiana area. It plays a lot of park golf and some woods golf. It's got just about every shot imaginable. It'll challenge all parts of your game, and it's one of my favorite courses. With Seviren Memorial coming up, I will be covering mostly the championship layout, which will be the longest tee pad to the longest basket, so all distances read will be from those tee pads to those baskets. Starting out at hole 1, 258 feet, mostly a straight shot down across this bridge. There is a little bit of room on the left side if you wanted to flex a forehand or just throw a straight shot up the middle. Little bit of a poke and hope at the end to get past these trees here. It does play a little downhill and then back uphill, and the basket is just about level with the tee. You'd like to hit about here, slide up, and get a circle one putt onto this green. Hole 2 is 392 feet, par 4. Pretty much makes a 90-degree right in the middle. Just about 200 feet off the tee. You want to either land here right in the middle, or if you want to go aggressive with a forehand, you can try to fade down here to this creek or across it. You're left with a very narrow uphill shot to try and get to this back green here for the championship layout. It can be tricky to park this hole. You're probably playing for a putt. Hole 3, 253 feet, extremely narrow gap to start. Again, it opens up on the left side if you want to flex a forehand, or the more difficult but maybe more rewarding shot is a backhand hyzer flip, so you get all the way back to this back pin here. Hole 4, 269 foot par 3. You do have a left option. The drone is flying on the right side though. It plays a little bit uphill, and the right side hyzer works, left side forehand works, left side hyzer flip works. Anything you can do to get there. Hole 5, 210 feet. It's basically just a hyzer, but it's a very specific hyzer because the entry here is only about 15 to 16 feet wide. There's not much room. If you're short, you're hitting this big tree. If you're deep, you're hitting the back wall. You'd like to get it, but it can really be difficult to get down to this basket. Hole 6, 1,011 feet, par 5, one of the premier holes on this course. Off the tee, you're looking to get about 350 if you want to birdie or more. The woods left will be out of bounds, and right side will be out of bounds starting at these softball cages. The little half telephone pole on the right marks about 410 off the tee. For your second shot, you'd like to get up at least to the second telephone pole here. The big bushy tree on the right is a Mando left to keep you from going over the parking lot. Your upshot only has to deal with these two guardian trees, with more airspace on the left side for the forehand or turnover. And the green is pretty wide open. There may be OB deep during tournaments. This is an overhead view of hole 6, and like I said, there will be right side OB starting around the corner of that parking lot, going to the softball cages and down. Hole 7, 336 feet, downhill quite a bit. Do not go left side. The left side is extremely rough, and it is almost a guaranteed bogey. If you're going to make a mistake, make it to the right. Throw a straight shot or throw a hyzer that gets through these trees on the right side and filters down. The road does play out of bounds just outside of circle deep. Hole 8, 297 feet, uphill. Just one tree really to deal with. It does play probably closer to 330, 340. And there is a parking lot directly behind the basket about 15 feet. So you do want to watch your distance, but you do have a hill to crash into, so you'd like to land this as close as you can. Hole 9, 606 foot, par 4. Tee shot is a extremely tight tunnel. Going downhill, you'd like to get out of this tunnel and then start moving right. A common play is a forehand. A backhand turnover can get big distance, but is risky. Typically in tournaments, there may be a patch of hazard on the inside to encourage you to push this back wall. Once you get out here, it opens up a whole lot. The road will play OB deep and left, and it pretty much makes a complete horseshoe to get back to this pin position tucked up here with road left just edge of circle, woods right inside of circle. Hole 10, 310 feet. It is a little bit downhill once you crest the hill that we're flying towards right now. Typically will be a fairway hyzer or a straight shot. Crest this hill, try to get across this creek and smack into this wooden green here. Hole 11, 610 feet, teeing off from across the road. You need to clear this gap at all costs if you are trying to birdie or even par. There's several options to get over it. You can go up through the middle, right side hyzer, left side turnover or forehand. If you land here, you can pretty easily get a par. If you're looking to play for a birdie, you'd like to land at least here. The closer to this short sleeve here, the better. Right side plays out of bounds where the stakes are. You go down this hallway downhill to an extremely fast green. It is super easy to go very deep on your upshot here. And rollaways are also a concern. Hole 12, 302 feet, downhill the whole way. OB left the entire way. If you get a kick here, you're most likely going to end up out of bounds. Only really takes a mid-range to get there. A lot of people will go fairway just to try and make sure they get down the tunnel. The creek here will play casual. There's no out of bounds on that creek. Just across this bridge is the basket, and road is deep just outside of circle. Hole 13, 650 foot par 4. Throwing from across the road. There's a small Mando stake on the right side of the bridge here, so that you have to go through this gap here. Typically the play will be a forehand or a late turnover to land about here. Typically the play will be over the top from this point if you have a big arm, if you're trying to play for birdie, although there is a low line now to get to this deep pin with some trimming that's been done recently. But typically birdie play is still going to be over the top second shot. Hole 14, 628 foot par 4, plays uphill a lot of the way. Off the tee, road right is out of bounds. You want to make sure you land it back safe. You do not want to be right on the bottom of this bank because you won't be able to see. You'd like to push your shot to the right of this bush that we're flying over now. Land about here. You'll have about 300 feet into this pin. A lot of times there will be OB even shorter of this road that's flagged, and the road of course plays OB, and likely will be an island green in a tournament. Hole 15, 268 foot, par 3, dead straight tunnel shot the entire way. Kicks here are typically bad. It will be very difficult to scramble if you get more than a couple feet off the fairway. Once you get out about halfway, you can bail out left if you need to play for par. Hole 16, 696 foot, par 5, in contention for the hardest hole on the course almost any time it's played. Your tee shot, you're looking to get to this corner but not necessarily around it. Landing about here is perfectly fine. Then you can either try to play through this gap here or over the top with a hyzer. This is a short pin here. We're going to be taking a left and going another 200 feet up this hill through maybe an 8-foot wide hallway. Par here is gaining strokes on folks every day of the week. This hole typically averages up to a stroke over par. Hole 17, 352 foot par 3, one of the harder par 3s on the course. Tight initial gap. You've got this tree on the left hand side to avoid. Kicks right are deadly, kicks left are deadly. The birdie play is typically a backhand with some late flip to get to the right side of this V tree. Playing for par, you can chip a forehand out here and have about a 100-foot upshot. In hole 18, 531 foot par 4, placement shot off the tee again. All road is out of bounds, and you would like to just get just past this last bush on the left, and then we'll make about a 90-degree left turn starting about here. This would be about the ideal landing zone unless you can start to get around this corner. It's very easy to go deep. Your shot into the green is most likely going to be some type of a forehand chip shot. You got to clear these railroad ties and then get up to this green tucked up on the right. A lot of roots. You can get a lot of pretty bad ground action on this green. So that about wraps it up for Seviren Lang Disc Golf Course. Hope you enjoyed the preview, and hopefully you enjoy playing the course.